You are listening to the Stay at Home Rockstar Podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to motivation through inspiration. And today's episode is called Addicted to Velcro. Is all Velcro created alike? How far can you go with Velcro? And just what kind of difference will this make in your life? To help us figure this all out, I have my bro, Kevin Bolembach, president of Godlyke Distribution. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with my buddy, Kevin Bolembach, who is the president of Godlyke Distribution. How you doing, my bro?
Hey, guys. Hi, Momo. How's it going?
It's going great, my friend. Thank you so much. For years, you have represented some of the world's most exciting and killer brands, such as Maxon, Emma, your own brand, of course, TWA. Also known for your great Power All supplies. You have the Pivot All connector plugs. And one of the main things we're going to be talking about today, the filet mignon of fucking Velcro. The Power Grip.
Power Grip, yeah.
Hence the name of this episode, Addicted to Velcro. You know, Velcro is an interesting thing. It comes with so many different possibilities, okay? There's high-quality Velcro, low-quality Velcro, that dollar store stuff, hardware store, and specialty Velcro, right? How well does that actually stick? What kind of mess or not will it leave when you take it off? You know, is it going to rip off the label, the paint, different kinds of solvents, like to clean that goop off that, you know, that was left behind? Let's not forget what happens if you leave your pedal board in its case, say, standing up on its side for a while, and then you go back to open it and you realize, wait a minute, my fucking pedals are now tilting to the side because the glue has melted. Tell me a little bit about this Power Grip. It's so out of control. Like, did you guys actually invent that, or did you, like, what's going on with that?
Well, we did. First off, I think we should mention that Velcro is a trademark of 3M, so we got to be careful. It's what we call what I think the generic term for this stuff is hook and loop fastener, which is the easy way to avoid legal ramifications. Power Grip is basically, over the years, we're musicians who have toured, do gigs, and set up a lot of pedal boards, even just for the NAMM show for Godlyke. We were always looking for, you know, the better mousetrap. And as you mentioned, a lot of these shortcomings of regular hook and loop and or Velcro, you try and pull the pedal off, and the one side of the tape comes off the pedal instead of separating from the other side of the tape. Or you leave your pedal board in your trunk of your car overnight and you get to the gig and all the pedals are all over the place because the glue melted. This is the primary difference between, you know, your, like you said, your dollar store hook and loops or Power Grip, which is, you know, just like a higher level, really industrial quality product. Also, to be clear, with hook and loop, just like it indicates, there's one side that has small hooks and then there's one side of the tape that has the loops that the hooks hook into. And that's what makes the connection between the two sides. Power Grip is a single-sided tape, so both sides have the same type of connectors on them, which are these small little mushroom stems that interlock with one another, and they're made out of nylon, and they create a stronger grip than the hook and loop, sometimes too strong if you ask certain people, but we like things to stay in place, you know, when we put them together. So, you know, that's the one difference. One of the big issues with this type of fastener, too, is the stem count per inch. In other words, how many of these little mushroom stems are in a square inch of the tape, and that's going to dictate how easy or difficult it is to separate the two pieces of tape. Power Grip has a 100 per inch stem count, and that's like, it's a pretty heavy duty stem count. It's not impossible to get it apart, but basically when you put it together, it's not coming apart unless you want it to, which is kind of what we were looking for.
I have to tell you that, you know, to the people who are listening right now, we're not just talking about regular Velcro, especially musicians who are always looking for Velcro to put their pedals on. They can't even understand what I'm about to tell them with you when it comes to this, and why I'm even doing a subject on this, because it's that fucking exciting, right? The strength, the solidity, the zero wobble, right? Finally, a pedal where the Velcro is a joy to peel. Okay, the amount of times I've had to run to my wife and say, if you do not peel this fucking thing off for me, I'm gonna flip out. Then when I got this stuff, I said, okay, let me really test what's happening here. Here's the first thing I did. I said, let me see what happens if I just cut 4 teeny tiny pieces that will just go in the 4 corners instead of your typical big strip, right?
Yep.
You need 8 little mini pieces. I cut the first 4. I peel off that thing. I go, oh my God, like, am I going to have an orgasm now that this thing just peels off this easy? Then you stick them on. And then when you go get the other remaining 4 pieces that still got the backings on, you pre-push them on and it just goes, it locks on. Like the feeling when you push it down is the same feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It's the kind of feeling like when you reach up to a big knob on a piece of studio gear and you go and you start turning it, you know there's something going on, you know what I mean? Yeah. So once you do that to all your pedals, you are ready to just filet mignon off like a Ginsu knife off with the glue and just push it on to your pedal board and voila. 0 wobble. The strength is absolutely amazing. Because it is so thick and industrial, it's almost as if it gives you an 1/8 of an inch rise, which I totally like because it gives you room to tuck extra loose wires underneath that pedal, right? Yep. And here's the bonus, people. Sure. Here's what I was very surprised because I've had to change pedal orders and pedal sizes change. And then I said, oh no, I'm going to have to take this stuff off the board. What's going to happen? Ladies and gentlemen, as strong as this glue is, when you go to peel off this thing that's been stuck there, it comes off and leaves no freaking gunk behind. It's the perfect fucking Velcro.
Yeah, that would be the next thing, talking about, how Power Grip differs from just, your dime store hook and loop, is that one of the most important things beyond the ability of the tape to mate with itself is what kind of adhesive is on the back of the tape that you're going to connect to your pedal board or your pedal. And that is the thing, is that, most cheapo hook and loop designs use just like a glue with a low melt temperature. And then if the pedal board gets hot or cold, basically, if there's any kind of major variations in temperature, the glue melts and the tape pulls off of the board or off of the pedal or both. So the Power Grip uses a special type of foam adhesive, and the bond will actually strengthen in time as time goes on because the foam actually shrinks and creates like a vacuum grip on whatever surface it's mounted to. In addition to that, it is temperature resistant up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's left in your car overnight, you don't have to worry about your pedals falling off. These are some of the aspects of where Power Grip is superior to other products. And there are other things on the market similar to it, but one of the things with Power Grip too is the way the stems, there are other industrial, strength fasteners such as 3M Dual Lock, but the difference is with Dual Lock, the stems are molded to a plastic base and then the adhesive is put on the bottom of that. And this base, the plastic base, doesn't shrink or expand or contract with temperatures. So eventually what happens is the glue is what is stressed, and eventually that will separate from the surface it's mounted to.
Yes.
With Power Grip, with Power Grip, the stems are actually woven into a flexible base that has the adhesive on it. So what happens is the whole system expands and contracts with temperature variations, and that just allows it to breathe, and basically no particular component is stressed, then subsequently wears out.
That's amazing. It's funny that you say that because, nothing against the other company, but exactly what you said happened to me on the more commercial grade Dual Lock that company makes. And exactly what happened. Yep. You go, you put it down, I go to take off the pedal, boom, it separates from the glue part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Total piss off. It's like, Let's talk about price for a second.
Sure.
This stuff is pretty expensive compared to the cheap Velcro. But in essence, because you use so much less and it just lasts so much longer, it's basically comes out to the same thing.
I'm a firm believer in the concept of you get what you pay for. and yes, Power Grip is definitely a little more expensive, but I think actually I've never really done a cost comparison, but I think I'm fairly certain that we're pretty much neck and neck with like a similar quantity of Dual Lock. And I don't think they sell Dual Lock in a smaller size format. Like we sell a Power Grip in 1 meter rolls, and I think Dual Lock only comes in 10-foot rolls. I think if you break it down as a per meter, per 4-inch, whatever. I think we're neck and neck with dual lock. And, we're certainly more expensive than standard hook and loop, but you're going to get what you pay for, and you're going to wind up having to replace the stuff. And if your pedals fall off the board, there's going to be damage there. Cables get pulled out, and dogs live with cats, and it's a big mess. So
yeah, and the strength is incomparable. Even when I use, say, those little cubes I'm talking about, right? In order for me to pull those pedals off, the easiest way for me to do is to take like a little screwdriver, and I just very lightly give it a little tug, and it pops off because the strength. I had a friend of mine who had like this $10,000 board, okay? It was loaded with nothing but fucking Corniche effects on it. And this guy
that must be a nice
had the whole bottoms of his board coated with your shit. Okay. And my friend and I, we decided to play a trick on him. So we went to his car because he just left it open and his board was in there. And we took the board out of there. So we were going to say, oh, somebody stole your board, right? But then when the joke was over, like we were trying to take the pedals off the board and I could not remove them, dude. Like I got to tell you, I put my whole back, both my arms, and my friend was stepping on the board to hold it down. And there was no removing the thing. It is really strong thing.
Yeah, I think I'm in complete agreement with you. I think that's the other aspect that people aren't taking into account if they're, price shopping with this, is that because of the strength of the bond on Power Grip, both between, the two pieces of tape themselves and the actual adhesive you're using, you don't need as much tape as you normally would. And you can really, mount a good sized pedal with, like you said, 4 1-inch squares, one in each corner, if you even need that. One thing we've seen are guys putting their boards together and using too much Power Grip and not being able to get their pedals off the board. But you really only need, like the most you need, let's say a Phase 90 style box would be like a 2-inch strip at the top and bottom of the pedal. And exactly what you said, you take a screwdriver or I found at the Home Depot a very small nail puller, like a flat iron. It's got a little L shape and you just pop it right under the pedal and just gently pry it off. And the cool thing is with Power Grip, it's like if you try and do a direct pull up, you'll wind up picking up the entire board. But if once you get a little corner of the two pieces of tape separated from one another, the rest of it comes up very easily.
Oh yeah, well,
it's really, there's a technique to it.
I can tell you that all my boards that I've recently put together, I've made it work with 1/4-inch pieces. And I swear to God, I believe that I can cut one of those 1/4-inch pieces into 2, like a little square, and you will have no wobble and no. It's that strong and that impressive,
Yeah, it really holds. It does. And if anything, we get guys, sometimes we look at, user comments on Amazon or wherever. It's funny, it's the one common complaint, if there are any, is that it holds too well. So I don't know if that's possible, if that could actually be a complaint, but people complain about it.
Well, you see, the wobble factor, right? I don't think people can really appreciate what we are talking about, because no matter what you think, especially if you put like pedals on top of like, say, risers or things, where it's not perfectly flat and even. When you're using regular Velcro, even if you think it's holding, there is still a little bit of a wobble happening.
Yeah, it's because the loops, the hooks are going into basically a mat of loops, and there's play between them because both the loops and the hooks sway from side to side. And the Power Grip, because the stems interlock and there's no space in between them, there's no side-to-side play like that. So
I'm telling you, it feels like your pedal got mounted into cement. We're talking about that much no wobble. It's impressive.
Thanks.
That's good. And to all you guys out there, this Velcro is not just for pedal boards.
We get a lot of people using it for other uses, and it's great to see. We get people mounting solar panels on the roof of their vans for extreme sports, military, tactical, and like you said, like construction type things. You could use it to hang pictures on your wall. You could put up drapes. You could do a ton of stuff with it. It's really limited to your imagination, but yes, certainly it's multiple uses.
So, like, have you used it for anything else besides musical? cases that's kind of saved your butt sometimes, or?
I've used it definitely to mount stuff in my house. Like, let's say you've got a television component, your cable box, and you don't want it moving. So I've power grip stuff together like that. I've power grip my wireless router onto the side of my desk, so it's off the ground, which they recommend. Power gripped trim back onto my buddy's car.
Oh, that's true.
That came off, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with it, and certainly besides pedal boards, just within music, you can use it to hook stuff to drum stands, like cymbal stands. Let's say you've got a metronome or a beatbox and you need to mount it somewhere. You could just put a strip of power grip on the cymbal stand and then another small piece on the metronome and hook it that way. Wireless mic systems, if you need to stack them so they don't fall all over the place, they could be power gripped together. So
I just had this kind of fantasy where I can just basically say, here, you see this one basic roll of power grip. I can cut this in half and it will hold this Marshall 412 right up on my fucking wall. Check this shit out. Boom!
Yeah, the old crazy glue test where the guy puts it on his hard hat and mounts himself to a bridge.
Yeah, but this you can reuse this. You can pop yourself up and pop yourself back on. Crazy glue, you can't.
That's right.
To you guys out there who are considering to buying some new Velcro, I'm telling you guys, when I say the filet mignon of Velcro, I'm not pulling your chain. This is worth it. It's such a radical experience that you have no choice but to be addicted to it. I am officially addicted to Godlyke Power Grip.
Addicted to the grip.
Addicted to the grip. Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's going to be part of your new slogan. Okay, so what's going on with the company, dude? How's it going? You got any new TWA things going down out there to lay on our folks?
Everything's going great. We've got a bunch of new releases this year. 2019 is the 40th anniversary of the release of the Maxon OD808. Oh. So we've been kind of putting our attention on that a little bit. We released a 40th anniversary limited edition OD808 that was modified by Mr. Susumu Tamura, who is the engineer who designed the original circuit. So we're working in conjunction with him, which has been a great honor and very educational and exciting. That's out for sale now on our website, and we're almost sold out. We did a limited run of 400, and we've got less than 100 left so far. And then TWA, we just launched the new Mini Morph, which is our dynamic wave shaper fuzz. It's a very dynamic, unique fuzz that has a very filtery, envelopey type of synthy sound. And we're getting ready to release the new TWA Sidestep, which is a unique little product we came up with. It's a universal tap tempo LFO that can be slaved to any pedal that has an expression pedal jack. So you could use it to tap tempo LFO delays, filters, reverbs, distortions, anything with an expression jack on it, and make some really cool, unique sounds. So we're just about ready to release that. Of course, still rocking with Powerall and Power Grip and Pivotal. And Emma, the other brand that we distribute from Denmark, just released a great tap tempo delay called the Navigator. So if you guys get a chance and you're in the market for a delay, definitely check it out. It's fantastic sounding, and it's got a massive feature set and a very small compact pedal at a great price. Definitely check that out as well.
Amazing. Guys, when you want to check this stuff out, you need to go over there to godlyke.com. And Godlyke is spelled...
That's right.
It's spelled Godlyke.
You got it.
Kevin is a really cool guy. He'll answer all your questions and hook you up. You need to check that stuff out. They're very, very original. You've always been original with your choices of products, kind of a real innovator. I really like what you said about your new tap tempo thing you're adding, because I believe that the future, adding accessories that people can use to already existing pedals, is part of your game that you need to be going in. That's amazing.
Thanks, Momo. I really appreciate that.
So, guys, you have been listening to the voice of my bro, Kevin, from Godlyke Distribution, right here on the Stay at Home Rockstar podcast, where you get to hear and meet some of the most interesting people and some really cool stuff that I believe that you guys need to get into your hands, because it's useful shit and it's stuff that makes me happy, and it will make you happy too. So on that note, you guys totally rock. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you, Momo. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch with me through godlyke.com, and definitely check out Momo's videos and his podcast. It's a great man bringing great music to the masses.
You've been listening to the Stay at Home Rockstar Podcast. For more episodes and videos, go visit thestayathomerockstar.com. You guys